For generations, owning a home, that wasn't just a purchase. It was a promise, a sign that you had finally made it. But what happens when that promise becomes a prison?
So, young people are doing home buying all backwards. That's a quote from an expert at Zillow, of all places. And it kind of makes you stop and think, right? It suggests maybe the problem isn't just the market. Maybe it's us.
But what if it's not? What if the game was rigged from the very beginning? Because that's what we're going to get into. We're going to see how this dream of homeownership has been twisted into something you can barely even recognize. This isn't just about high prices. It's about a system that's been rewired against an entire generation. For so many people right now, this dream feels like it's just falling apart in real time. Let's look at the actual numbers behind this feeling, this despair. Okay, first number, $435,300. That's the national median home price, a record high. I mean, for a lot of people, that number doesn't even feel like a goal anymore. It feels like a fantasy. And here's what that actually means for you. To even have a shot at that median home, you'd need to be making $17,500 more this year than you did last year. Just think about that. Who do you know who got that kind of raise?
And let's say you pull it off, you get the mortgage. Well, because interest rates are so much higher, your monthly payment is going to be about $800 more than it was just a few years back. That's almost 10 grand a year. Poof, gone. The pressure is just constant.
But this isn't just about big, scary numbers. There are these invisible forces at play, creating this generational conflict that has the entire market completely frozen. And here's the thing you have to understand. If you feel stuck, it's because you are stuck. The whole system is gridlocked. This isn't your fault. Let's break down exactly why. Okay, this really shows you the heart of the problem. You've got millennials and Gen Z on one side, right? They're in their prime home buying years. They want to start families, they need more space. But on the other side, you've got the boomers. They're living longer, they're staying in those big family homes, and crucially, they're locked into these crazy low mortgage rates from years ago. So there's zero financial reason for them to sell. What's the result? Barely any starter homes on the market. It's a total perfect storm of demographics and money. And this gridlock, it forces us to ask a question about a piece of advice we've all had drilled into our heads for forever. A belief so deep, we almost never stop to ask if it's even true anymore. Come on, you've heard it a million times. Your parents said it. Everyone says it. Buying builds equity. Renting is just paying someone else's mortgage. It's this classic idea that plays on our deepest financial fears. And look, for a long, long time, the answer really was that simple. Of course you should buy as soon as you could. But the math has shifted so completely that old answer isn't just wrong, it's actually dangerous. Check this out. Before the pandemic, it took, 2 or 3 years of owning a home for it to make more financial sense than renting? A no-brainer, right? Today, that national break-even point is 7 to 9 years. And if you live somewhere like New York or San Francisco, get this, you're looking at 15 to 20 years before you come out ahead. 20 years. And that crazy timeline, it points to something much, much deeper. It points to the real financial trap in all of this. So this is the process that Zillow's own expert calls backwards. It starts on your phone, right? You're scrolling, you find the perfect house, and then emotion just takes over. You fall in love with the listing, with the idea of a life in that house. And so you scramble. You'll take any loan you can get just to make it yours. And this is where we get to the real trap. In this crazy market, we're all so terrified of missing out, but we've completely lost sight of the actual risk. The biggest risk isn't failing to buy a home. It's succeeding with a nightmare mortgage that controls your entire life. Think about it. The real danger isn't losing the bidding war, it's winning it, and then being chained to a payment that dictates every choice you make for the next 30 years. You get the house, but you lose your freedom. All because your heart was making the decisions, not your head. So, how do you get out of this trap? Well, the answer isn't to just give up. It's about completely flipping the script. It's about taking the power back. Here's the new way to do it. You don't start with the house, you start with the money. You master your finances first. Your credit score, your savings, your debt-to-income ratio. That's just the percentage of your monthly income that goes to paying off debt. You let the cold, hard numbers lead the way, not how you feel about a Zillow listing. This way, you're not just buying a house, you're actually owning your future. I mean, think about this for a second. Most people spend more time researching a TV than they do their mortgage. But that mortgage, it's not just paperwork. It is the single most powerful financial lever you will ever pull. 1 percentage point can mean tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. Getting this right is everything. And that brings us back to the most important question of all. The goal was never just to own a house, was it? It was to have security, to have freedom, to have a place to build a life. And in the world we live in now, maybe that means renting longer. Maybe it means buying smarter. Or maybe it means defining success on your own terms. So you have to ask yourself, what dream are you really chasing? Because the answer might not be a house at all.